Hello and welcome to my channel where I'm going to prove that anyone can draw. Drawing this winter landscape illustration is easier than you think, and I will take you through all the steps so you can draw it too, even if you're a beginner in digital art. Before you start, make sure to download the Coral palette for this illustration and that you have all my free brushes that are linked in the description of this video. And if you have fun drawing this with me and would like to get more step-by-step tutorials like this, make sure to check out my Patreon. I add their new video every week. And now grab your tools, open Procreate, relax and enjoy the drawing process. Let's start. Let's make a new canvas, A4 canvas from Procreate. And first we're going to color the sky. Let's take our first color for this. Take color number 1. And here we are going to use the selection tool. So let's take it. It's this. At the bottom, make sure you have selected rectangle and color fill is on. Let's select a rectangle on top of the canvas like this. Let's tap here to finish. And now let's take next color. Color number 2. Let's take the selection tool and select another rectangle about the same size, somewhere over here. Make sure those two colors here will be overlapping. Let's tap here to finish this and take next color. Color number 3. Take the selection tool and now select rectangle over here. A little bit smaller. Tap on the selection to finish and take next color, number 4. Again, let's take the selection tool. Select rectangle like this. Tap here to finish. And the last color, color number 5, we can just drag and drop it to the rest of the canvas over here. Now let's blend those colors together. To do that, we can go to the adjustments and take Gaussian blur. Swipe your pencil on the screen to the blur size. And let's make it 50%. Let's tap here to finish. And now we are going to mark here a land. For this we can make a new layer. So let's tap here on this plus and let's pick a color. Let's take color number 11. Let's take the selection tool again. And now we can select here at the bottom rectangle like this, a little bit less than half of the canvas. Okay, let's tap here to finish. And now we are going to draw here some mountains in the back. For this we'll make a new layer. And this layer should be behind that land. So let's move it over here. And let's pick first color. Take color number 8. Let's pick a brush. Let's go to calligraphy and take monoline brush. We can make the brush size 11. And let's draw here some mountains. So just some zigzaggy line like this. If you want the lines to be straight, you can hold your pencil on the screen. This will create straight lines, but it's not necessary. It depends on you if you want to have straight lines or not. Make sure that your lines are touching the edge of the canvas. So this way we can just drag and drop the color to the bottom part of it, like this. Now let's make a new layer to draw the mountains that will be in front of this. So let's tap here and let's pick a color. Let's take color number 9. In the same way, let's draw some mountains. So I'll just draw here one long zigzaggy line. And in the end, I'm holding my pencil on the screen. You can also tap here and now edit the points. You can also move this line. Okay, when you finish, tap with your finger on the screen And just make sure the lines are touching the edges of the canvas, so you can color this inside over here like this. I'm going to move this down a little bit, so I'll take the arrow tool. At the bottom, I have uniform motion selected and snapping turned on. So this way I can move this down and it will still stay here in the middle of the canvas. I can also maybe make it bigger. Okay, I like it now, so I'm going to tap here to finish this. Now let's make one more layer for the mountains that will be even closer. Let's take the color number 10, and draw them in the same way. Okay, and let's color the bottom part of this. So the mountains are finished. Now we can add here sun and some stars. To draw the sun we can make a new layer and we are going to put it behind all the mountains over here. Let's take the color. Take color number 6 and let's draw here a circle. So draw it like that. Hold your pencil on the screen and now you can put your finger here to make this a perfect circle. You can scale it and then also you can tap here and move it. I'll put it somewhere over here like this. Let's color this inside. And now right away we can add here some birds. Let's pick the color for them. Take color number 21 and let's pick a brush. Let's go to my Siakula special brushes and take here birds. With the brush size 50, you can just stamp them like that and maybe one more time if you want to. But here I'm going to use my other birds brush. It comes from my set. If you're interested in it, it will be linked in the description of this video. You can also just hand draw some other birds. It's up to you. So I will take your birds too. And with the brush size 16, I'll just add a few more birds like that. And now maybe still a bigger one, 25. Here. And one more maybe somewhere over here. Okay, now we can make a new layer to draw some stars. Let's take the color for the stars, color number 7, and let's pick a brush. Let's go here to my Siakula freebies, and we can take here stars. With the brush size 7%, we can just stamp here a few times on the screen to add some stars like that. Okay, and I would like to add here also some different kind of stars, more like a graphic stars. So here I'm going to use a few brushes from my Siakula Stamps brush set. I will use here pointed star field. I'll make the brush size 3 and I will just add a few of them. Now a little bit bigger, maybe 5%. Okay. And I will still use here maybe this one, stars to field. With the brush size 6, I'll just add here 2. And now even smaller, 4%. Okay, I like it now. I would like this to glow a little bit, so to do that we can just change the blending mode of this layer. Let's tap here and set this to add. And now if you think this is too strong, we can just turn down the opacity of this. I'll make it 67. Okay. So now we can move on and start drawing here some trees. Let's make a new layer for them. And let's take a color. Let's take color number 18. We are going to manually draw some trees that will be in the back. We can go back here to the monoline brush from calligraphy and just draw here some tree shapes, just like that. I see we have to move this layer above the mountains, so let's go here and move it over here. Let's keep it behind the land. Okay, so let's draw them again. So just simple shapes like that. Make sure that you'll be closing this shape here at the bottom, even though you don't see it because it's covered by the land. Because now we want to color this inside, like this. So let's draw a few of them. You can also just draw simple triangle shapes like this. And then maybe if you want, you can just add here just 2 branches coming out of it, like that. And now let's take a small break, and I would like to ask you to write a comment, I can draw this. It would mean a lot to me, I would know that you enjoyed this video, and I could see who is watching me. It will also help this video reach more people, so thank you for doing that. And now let's go back to drawing. Let's add also maybe one somewhere over here on this side. Okay, this will be enough. Now we're going to draw some more trees in front of those. Let's make a new layer for this. And these trees will put on top of the land. So let's move this layer above the land, over here. Let's change the color. Take color number 19. And in the same way, we can draw the trees over here. As you can see, I covered this bird with the tree. That's okay, I can always go back later and just move it. So it's not a problem. I'm going to add also a tree over here. And maybe this is enough. Now we can add some trees closer to us. Let's make a new layer for this. And let's change the color. Let's take color number 20. And here we can use a stamp brush. Let's go to my Siakula freebies. And we can take here this one. 1 different sizes. Let's make the brush size 100%. And now just start stamping them here. As you can see, you have to stamp a few times to create one tree. Like that. Okay. But you should end up with something like this. Okay, now before we move on, I would like to adjust this. I want to take this bird out and move it somewhere else, and also maybe I want to take this tree here in the back and move it to the left. So let's do that. Let's first go for the bird. So the bird is here on the layer of the sun. Let's take the selection tool. Here at the bottom, let's pick freehand option and turn off color fill. Let's select this bird like this, and now we can take the arrow tool and just move him over here like this. You can also rotate him. Okay. Now let's go back to the layer of the trees. So it's those trees here in the back. So in the same way, we can take the selection tool, select this, take the arrow tool, and just move it. I'll move it over here. Okay. Now, let's create here a land that will be closer to us, a hill. Let's make a new layer for this on top of everything. Let's pick a color for this. We'll take a color number 2. And we can just draw it. Let's change the brush. Let's go back to the calligraphy and take monoline brush. And just draw here a hill like this. Let's color this inside. Over here at the bottom part. And right away we can add here some gradient. For this, we can make a new layer on top of this one and set it as clipping mask. So tap here and pick clipping mask. This means that whatever we'll draw here will be visible only on the shapes that are on the layer underneath. Let's take the color. Take color number 14. And let's pick a brush here. Let's go now to siakulaart special brushes. And we can take here this one, medium noise, with the brush size 26. Let's just color here the bottom part of it like that. Okay, now we can make a new layer on top of this one to create the hill that will be in front of us. Let's pick a color. Take color number 15. And let's pick a brush. Let's go back to calligraphy and monoline brush. And here we can draw a hill like this from little arcs. Maybe like that. Let's color this inside over here. And we are going to add here a gradient. So in the same way, let's make a new layer on top of this. Set it as clipping mask. And let's pick a color. Take this one dark purple. It should be color 16. I'm going to change it. So color number 16. And let's go back to that medium noise. So siakulaart special medium noise. And just color here the bottom part of this. Okay, and now we can make one more layer for the last hill. Let's change the color. Take color number 15. Change the brush. Let's go back here to calligraphy and monoline brush. And let's draw it over here in the same way. So with some kind of arcs like that. Maybe I will make this one bigger here like that. Let's color this. Okay, and also add your gradient. So let's make a new layer on top of this one. Set it as clipping mask. Take color number 16. And go back to that medium noise brush. And edit here the bottom part. Okay, now we can go back here a little bit and add here some shadow under those trees on the snow over here. So let's go back over here to the layer of the land and let's make a new layer above it. Let's pick a color. Take color number 12. And let's pick a brush. Let's go to calligraphy and take monoline brush. And over here we can just draw some kind of shadow like that. Okay, let's close this shape. So take it to the edge and make sure this is closed. and color this inside. Let's add also shadow here under those trees, but I don't have the color for this. So that's why I'm going to make a new layer on top of this. I will turn down the opacity of this layer, so I can tap here and just make this maybe 57%. And now with the same color, I can just draw this here, and this will be lighter shade. Okay, let's color this. We can also add a tiny bit of the shadow over here. Okay, and also maybe we can just add here just some random shadow. Maybe there's some kind of small hill over here. Okay, now let's go back to this hill over here. I would like to add here some lines that will be lighter. So let's go over here to the shading on this layer, and let's make a new layer on top of this one. We have to also set this as clipping mask. And let's take here color, take color number 13, and we are going to draw here just some lines. So just like that, draw some lines going through this hill. And I don't want them to be yellow. Let's change the blending mode of this layer. So let's tap here. And we can set this here as screen and turn down the opacity here. I will make it 43. Okay, now let's move on to those hills over here. So let's start here with the one in the back. Let's make a new layer on top of the shading on it. First, we can just brighten this up a little bit. Let's set this layer's clipping mask and change here blending mode to add. Let's change here color. Let's take color number 12. We can change the brush. Let's go here to Siakulaart Special and take medium noise. Let's make it smaller, 8%. And just draw here on the edges, the top edges like that, to brighten this up. Now we can make it even smaller, maybe 4. And just add here some smaller arcs in the middle of this. So just like that. Okay. And now let's add some lines like we added over here. So let's make a new layer for this. Set it as clipping mask. Let's change the color. For this we are going to use here color number 11. Let's go back to the monoline brush and just add some of those lines over here. I'm going to add it here right on the edge. Okay, maybe also over here. Okay. And let's change the blending mode of this. Let's set it to screen and turn down the opacity of this. I'll make it 74. Okay. And we can do the same now to the front heel. So let's go here. Let's make a new layer on top of this one. We'll start with adding here some light. Let's set this layer as clipping mask. Change this to add. Take the color number 12. Go back to the medium noise brush from my Siakulaart Special brushes. And we can also just start here with adding some small arcs like that, and then brighten here the top edge. Okay, and now let's make one more layer. Set it as clipping mask. Change the color to number 11 and change the brush to monoline brush and just add here some lines. Okay, and let's change the blending mode of this. Let's set it as screen and turn down the opacity to 92%. Okay, we are almost finished. Let's add here some light on those trees over here. Let's go back to this layer over here with the trees. Make a new layer on top of this one. Set it as clipping mask. We can change it to add. And let's change the color to the same color we used for those trees. So it's color number 20. We can change the brush here. Let's go here to inking and take Studio Pen. And let's take the brush size 29 and we can just draw here on the right side of those trees some small lines like this. We can add some here more in the middle too, just to show there's more trees over here. So just something like that. Okay, and now in the end we are going to draw here some plants coming from this hill. To do it, let's go here to the layer number 21. So the one that is under the hill that is in front. Let's make a new layer on top of this one. Make sure this will not be set as clipping mask. And let's change the color. Let's take color number 17. And here we can just draw some plants like that. You can draw here any plant that you like. You can draw here some flowers or just some simple grass. If you have my Siakulaart landscape brush set, you can use brushes from there. So just maybe one of these. Just like that. Or I have added recently to my Patreon brush stamps some similar brushes over here. So if you are my patron, you can just use the brushes from here too. Maybe I'll take this one and I can add here a branch. Like that. We can add some berries over here. Okay? Or you can just hand draw it. So that's up to you how you want to create here little plants. So when you finish drawing here the plants, your illustration is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you can share your drawing with me on Instagram. I would love to see it. And if you would like to draw more of me, don't forget to check out my Patreon. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!